So this week, friend of the show and friend of me, Simon is joining, who has just got back from his very first trip to Walt Disney World. And I know Simon and I have been talking about this trip for a very long time. It must be 18 months plus that we've been talking about this, and you finally got to go. We had lots of conversations beforehand about Genie Plus, hotels, reservations, because you need to take out some kind of degree in travel and tourism to figure out how to go to Disney nowadays.
Yeah,
And I said, well, look, you can have all of this on the condition that you come on the podcast and tell us all about it. So the moment is finally here.
it is. It is. I am here. Thank you for letting me come on and replace Dan for an episode.
He's easily replaceable, so that's fine. So, I mean, your very first trip as a family,
Yes.
what I mean, I guess to start with, like, where did you travel? Like, what was the whole booking process like before you get into the actual trip? Because I mean, I've been booking Disney trips for a long time, and for you guys, it was quite a relatively new thing, and there's
Yeah.
been lots happening over the last 12, 18 months at Disney World that even from my view makes it quite tricky to book. So I don't know like how you guys found it kind of booking and planning a trip for the first time.
Um. Well, I mean, a bit of background. So we were meant to go to Disney World in 2020. Before obviously, I mean, literally in that year, COVID hit.
Yeah.
So I'd kind of done quite a lot of planning um in kind of 2019 to 20 in preparation for that. So I'd done all the booking of the hotels, the
Mm-hmm.
flights. I'd done all the fast pass.
Fast
It
pass at
was,
the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd booked it. It was like three a day, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I'd kind of been through all that, and I'd watched all the vloggers,
Mm-hmm.
videos. Tim Tracker's obviously one of them, which I know you do mention on the pod. Um, so that wasn't too bad. I think it was more getting down to the nitty gritty of, I was messaging you about silly things like, you know, money and converting money from the UK, what's the Wi-Fi like, things like that.
Yeah.
So I think it was
Those
more,
are all things that Disney don't. I mean, considering you, I mean, we'll get onto it, but you stayed on property.
yeah.
Those are all things that I think Disney should be much better at communicating.
I, I mean, I had no idea.
Mm.
I had no idea if there was, I know it sounds really stupid. I had no idea if there was Wi-Fi, across hotels, across the parks. It was only really when I asked you that I kind of found that answer out. But it's quite important, especially when you're coming from the UK, to know if you have to sort that stuff out before you get to
Yeah.
the US.
Yeah.
So they sound like really little small things, but actually, they could things that could end up costing you even more. You really don't want. Like, let's
Exactly.
be honest.
And it's knowing like the mix of things you need as well. Like so, I mean, I remember the days before I had Monzo, other cards are available, where I'd have like $3,000 in cash in my wallet.
Yeah,
I'm like, if I get mugged, I'm screwed because that's all my holiday money. Like, so it's great now that it's easily transferable across apps and things like that, and
yeah,
you don't get hit by the exchange rates. And like if you're with HSBC, and you use your card, they will charge you for a non-sterling
yeah,
transaction fee, which is just ridiculous, but it is what it is. So, Monzo is a great alternative. There's others as well, but yeah, there's so many little things like that for a big trip like this. Like,
yeah,
even this year is the first time that I'm going with two kids, and it's trying to figure out, we're going with my parents. Do we get a car? Well, if we get a car, we're going to have to take car seats or rent car seats. If we get
yeah.
an Uber, well, then we're going to have to take car seats or rent car seats because they're
Hmm.
both so
Hmm.
little. It's
Yeah,
all things like that that just unnecessarily stress you out.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. Obviously, we'll get on to the airport as well. But yeah, transfers as well, which we hadn't actually booked before I'll give you a bit of a lowdown on that, because that was kind of good and bad. Let's describe it as that. But yeah, just kind of little things, I have to say, booking through Walt Disney was really easy, and booking flights through TUI, we ended up going with was again fairly easy. So all of that process, it was just those little things, and obviously with it being August,
Yeah.
again, I'll come onto that in a bit more detail, but just knowing that the temperature was going to be absolutely ridiculous, was again just trying to figure out what we needed to take. Obviously, we know these things can be bought in the US and in the parks, but again, at a cost. So we were trying to kind of Amazon and things as much as we could. So yeah, just the little things, I think, which now we've kind of been through it. We wouldn't worry about as much the next time. So
yeah, makes sense. So I mean, you didn't go, your travel to Florida was probably less conventional than most, I would say. In that, I mean, you didn't go by paddleboard or anything, but you kind of, well, tell us the airport that you flew out of and the airport you flew into, because I think not that the airport you flew out of is in the middle of nowhere, but the airport you flew into is not one that I'd even heard of until you'd
nope.
mentioned it to me.
I mean, I think you Google Melbourne Airport and it'll bring up, probably one in Australia.
Yeah, I thought, well, these are the cheapest flights in the world. You go via Australia.
Yeah, so I think TUI have started to fly into Melbourne Airport in Orlando, I think in the last few years, I believe. So it's basically, it's right on the east coast where I think where all the ports are for the kind of cruise ships and things, assuming that's why they've done it. Because it's a bit more of a hub for people who are going on the cruises. So yeah, and we flew from Newcastle Airport. So Newcastle, for anyone who's not aware of that, is in the northeast, just under Scotland. But that was great. So TUI do a direct flight from Newcastle, which is fab. We live about 10 minutes from the airport, so that's absolutely brilliant. Just being able to
that's
go to and from the airport within about 10 minutes. Obviously, flights from Manchester or London are going to be cheaper. But yeah, that kind of ticked a few things off for us. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the actual flight itself, I'd say the good of that flight was the actual the seats, the flight, direct. I'd say the bad, and I'm not wanting to down TUI too much here, but I think food wise it isn't the best, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mashed potato. There's a lot of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, to be fair, the kid, we were laughing because I think the kids' meals were probably better than
Like
some of the adults.
Chicken nuggets or something.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, because I've had chicken on a flight before, and you're like, well, how bad can it be? And it's just, you open it, and it's like the driest bit of chicken, or they try and like douse it in like curry sauce, and it's makes it even worse.
Exactly.
It does feel like we've gone backwards in terms of plane food, because when we first decided as a world to travel via plane, the food and the service was just unbelievable, like restaurant quality.
Yeah.
And now they've just decided, nah, unless you're going first class, which is ridiculous money.
Yeah.
Let's just give you, like microwave meals, basically.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was horrendous. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, like I say, other than that, so so we've got two kids, a girl and a boy. One's 4, one's 7. And yeah, their kind of attention span is as close to 0 as possible. So me and Sarah, my wife, were trying to watch films. Like, that was impossible. because the kids just they wouldn't sit and watch a film, unfortunately.
And
But
presumably you told them where they were going,
oh yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
they are ready.
yeah, absolutely. So they know it's going to be a long flight, and things like that. So yeah, don't really have any tips for the flight, if I'm being honest, because we took a Nintendo Switch, we took an iPad, um, and yeah, like I say, just attention is as close to zero as it can be. So, but they made it, which was great. Um, Melbourne was great when we got there. We just went. We actually got our bags before we did the security checks, which was a first for me. But we were probably out of there within about 10 minutes. It was incredibly quick. Which
That's amazing. I mean, I have heard the new terminal in Orlando Airport, which is where we're going to be landing this time. It's the first time that we're going to be heading into that terminal.
yeah,
They do baggage collection before immigration as well, whereas the other
interesting.
terminal that I've been going to for the last 30 years
Yeah,
is the other way around. So it's interesting that they've decided to do that same thing there.
yeah, yeah. So oh, there you go then. So that was great. Through really quick. And then actually, and I think I was telling you this before we were going, but we decided against like a coach transfer, because we thought we can just get an Uber. It worked out that it was going to be a little bit cheaper to do it this way. So we actually got an Uber from the airport to straight into Art of Animation,
Mm-hmm.
which is a long journey. It's about an hour and a half. Fairly boring journey. Well, it would be on a coach as well, but that was fine. We were in a big, fairly spacious car, so that was all good. The only issue coming back was that basically, so when the day we were coming back to the airport from Art of Animation, essentially no Uber or Lyft taxi driver would take us,
Right.
because they would accept the job. They would basically see that it was Melbourne Airport and then just cancel on us. So
Really?
that is definitely something to be aware of. I think, if I'm being honest, I think we would probably just do the coach transfer next time, just for that kind of security.
So how did you end up getting back to the?
Well, luckily we got a Lyft driver, an older guy, who, once he found out we had kids, kind of honoured it and said he'd do it.
Yeah.
But otherwise we would have been stuck, or we would have been paying, $250-300 for a Mia's taxi. So
Yeah. And what was did they give did the old guy say, oh, this is why they don't?
I think it's just purely because of the distance. So I
Yeah.
think it was about £100, $100 fare. But I think the guy was saying he'd probably only end up with about $50. So,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
kind of understand it from that point of view. But, I'm there, like, realizing we've got to get somewhere, we've got to get to an
Stressing.
airport.
Yeah.
So I was panicking. But anyway, we, thank goodness for this one guy who got us back, thankfully. And just out before Hurricane Idalia, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, yeah, there was so then yeah, a couple of hurricanes now. I mean, they've just narrowly avoided Lee by the looks of it. Uh,
right.
and there's another. I mean, it's been a busy season already this year, and we've still got a couple of months left.
Yeah.
So and we're going soon. So
I was,
I'm always a bit nervous going this time of year because we have been caught in a hurricane before a couple of times, but it's a good time of year to go. That's the problem.
it is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um, so yeah. So I mean, some good, some bad. But kind of overall, probably, more good than bad. Really. So
Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. What
yeah.
about
Well,
what about the hotel? You mentioned you just mentioned you were at Art of Animation. I'd say it's one of the few hotels that I've actually not visited at all. So I think I've been inside every other hotel and I've stayed at a lot of them.
Oh wow.
I don't think there's another one that I've never actually been to because Art of Animation's a bit out of the way. It's not really
Yeah,
near a theme park.
yeah.
Um, and I've stayed at Pop Century before, which is obviously just opposite, but never Art of Animation.
Mhm.
So yeah, what did you think? What was your experience of the hotel, especially with the kids?
Yeah, I think um, kids loved it.
Yeah,
And to be fair, I think me and my wife did as well. Um, I think just from a styling point of view, I think our kids are probably at that perfect age. It
mm,
is very over the top. Lots of things on all of the walls. Even the lobby and the restaurant and things like that are very over the top. But for our kids, absolutely perfect. Um, and we were there for 2 weeks. And it didn't disappoint in any way. So that was really great. Um,
it's amazing how quickly it does become like your home.
oh, 1,000,000%. Yeah, yeah,
It's just crazy, isn't it? Where you've got stuff everywhere.
yeah.
Um, and I don't know if sometimes they'll even, especially on the buses, they'll even say welcome home, which is great.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it was great. So we were in I think it was a Little Mermaid room, which is one of the standard rooms.
Yeah, I
Um
think
so,
that's what
so
I think
not
you said it to me. Yeah.
yeah, not one of the suites, but perfect. Um, aircon, which was absolutely perfect, worked. I think I remember you mentioning some issues with aircon before in certain places, but absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
And yeah, the room was great. To be honest, the room was absolutely perfect. Everything we could have wanted. Um, but even with it being kind of a standard room, I think there was more than enough. And if you're
Yeah.
being realistic, you know, you're going to be out all day near
This
enough.
is it. This is the thing. And actually I think because you sent me a couple of pictures of the room.
Yeah.
Because we've I think I've said it on the show before, but we've actually booked the same, not the exact same room, but the same room type. Um, as you had this year. We're
Yeah.
going next year for 15 nights. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's good to see actually the rooms are a decent size. And to be honest, most of what you're paying for when you're staying at a deluxe Disney resort is not the room. It's the lobby, the restaurants,
Yeah.
the walk around the hotel versus the actual rooms themselves. Disney have made the rooms very similar in almost every Disney hotel at the minute,
Mhm.
for better or for worse.
Yeah. 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 Two big beds. There was obviously four of us, two big beds, fridge, and that's kind of it. I think we had a little table and chairs, but that was pretty much a dumping ground
Yeah,
for stuff we'd bought, towels, clothes, um, and yeah, I mean, housekeeping, came every other day. That was great. New towels, sheets, things like that. Um, and yeah, can't honestly, I can't really fault the room
What about
too
the
much.
what about the food in the resort? Because I'm sure you mentioned that was a bit hit and miss.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. I think it's fairly standard: burger, chips, pizza,
Standard kind of like quick service for Disney.
yeah,
Yeah.
chicken goujons, pasta and meatballs, meatball subs, things like that. Um, but I think, and again, I think I was messaging you when I was over there. There's actually some really great stuff. I thought. Um, so there was tandoori chicken, and they were actually making the naan breads in like a proper.
Nice. That's quite surprising,
I
actually.
don't know what they're called, naan fire oven
Yeah, yeah.
things. Um, and actually, I think the tandoori chicken, was on, was on skewers and things like that. Um, what was there was kind of Chinese chicken with rice. So and some kind of braised beef as well, which was actually really nice. I had that on mac and cheese.
I think that's the one good thing about the kind of more value Disney resorts is because they don't have full sit down restaurants
Yeah,
like a lot of the other hotels do. They put a lot more effort into their quick service locations. Whereas, like if you're staying at, I don't know, the Polynesian, the quick services are fine, and I've been to the quick service there, but then they've got like two restaurants in the hotel
yeah,
as well for your
yeah,
sit down meals. So with like the ones like Art of Animation, Pop Century, All Star Movie, Sports, Music, they really have to put everything into that one quick service location because
yeah,
everyone who's wanting to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, or
yeah.
anything in between has got to go there.
Exactly. Um, so yeah, they did some specialty cupcakes, one of which I had, which was lovely. Um, the key lime pie, which I know you're uh,
They had
familiar
key
with.
lime pie in the hotel.
They did.
That's dangerous.
So obviously I had to have one of those in your honor.
My favorite dessert ever.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was great. Honestly, pastries were great. Croissants, Danishes, everything like that was great just to kind of um, take with you on a bus to a park, or
Yeah,
if you didn't have time for a full breakfast. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, we would have generally like a big breakfast.
hmm.
So either the full works, bacon, pancakes,
Mickey
take
waffles.
Mickey. I wasn't a fan.
You know what? I had the last time I had a Mickey waffle was on a cruise. Was on the cruise when
Yeah.
this. And I was talking to you about this earlier in the week actually. Where they couldn't move the cruise ship out of the UK because of COVID, so they just decided to. I want to say rip people off, but take advantage of people such as myself who'd never been on a Disney cruise and just park it in the channel and call it a cruise. I think they called it like a staycation cruise or something.
Yeah.
We were fortunate because the weather was absolutely blinding. So we were on the top deck, sunbathing, drinks, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I had the Mickey waffles and I thought they were terrible. But I was thinking, is this because we're in the English
Mm.
Channel and it's not very American? But maybe not. Because I used to have them as a kid and used to love them, but they do look a bit dry.
I think that was it. I think it might have been, the ones that I had. I only had them once.
Mm.
After that, I just got the pancakes because I love pancakes anyway,
American
and
pancakes are great as well.
and they're perfect. So, yeah, pancakes and bacon and the syrup, just yeah, that I could live with that. So yeah, I don't want to put those down too much, but I think the ones that I had were quite dry.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
kids love them, so you know. Um,
So you tend to have a big breakfast. Did you eat much in the parks? Like any of the quick service or any sit down restaurants that you went to?
yeah, so we probably so yeah, I've probably given it away there that we would generally tend to have a big breakfast in the morning. We're talking 6:30 or 7 in the morning.
Yeah,
Based on how our kind of strategy for the parks. You can probably tell what that was, but yeah, we would tend to have a big breakfast, and then either take pastries or something just as a little snack for later. Um, have lunch in the parks.
and were you buying the pastries at the Art of Animation, or did you get it from Walmart or anything?
No, just at Art of
Just at
Animation.
Art of Animation, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So pretty much all of our breakfasts were from there. I know Sarah and my daughter tended to, they'd either have pancakes or bacon or cereal.
Mm.
So that worked out really well. Yeah, I mean highlights from lunches in the parks. Again, I think this is one of your favorites, but Flame Tree Barbecue
Oh, it's great.
was fantastic.
The
Um,
sauce, the barbecue sauce,
yeah,
is just unreal.
yeah, that's it. And I think I had I was telling you, wasn't I? I think was it Regal Eagle
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In
in
Epcot, yeah.
Epcot, which were again, I kind of feel that barbecue is like is like my style of food, because
Mm.
whenever I had it was like burnt ends, I think, from Regal Eagle,
Yeah.
which was fantastic. I think I got the pulled pork from Flame Tree Barbecue. And Sarah actually got the I don't know if it was a specialty or not, but it was like a jam donut
Hmm.
with pulled pork as like a sandwich.
Oh, nice.
That was unbelievable.
That's just
Um,
only something you'd find in America, isn't it? Like,
oh, completely. But
just
it
ridiculous.
was, but it was like, yeah, that's nice. Um, and yeah, like, we tended just to kind of, just do picky things, really.
Yeah.
We don't do the, I know you obviously, you and Dan kind of book restaurants and proper sit downs. But I think just because we were always on the move,
Mm.
and we haven't got the experience, we tended just to kind of go, yeah, we're hungry.
Go
That
and find
looks
somewhere.
great. I've heard about that,
Yeah.
and things like that. So, which worked out for us perfectly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think the only restaurant that we booked, which was T Rex, we actually didn't go to.
Oh, really? You didn't get a chance to?
No, because I messed up the days that we were going to be there. I think I messed up. I'd put an Animal Kingdom as a park hop later on in the day,
Yeah.
not realizing that it closed at 7.
Right.
Um, so we would have had about 2 hours there. So we switched that to the next day, and that cancelled out T Rex. So
Yeah.
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 So unfortunately, we didn't go there. But
Is that something you think? Because I definitely struggled with this trip that I've got coming up. Without the dining plan, it makes things very expensive. If you're going to at a sit down restaurant, very expensive. I mean,
yeah,
you all know that quick services with 2 kids is not cheap. Um, but sit downs are on a whole different level. And we've got
okay.
6 booked at the minute, and we're there for 12 nights. So,
Wow.
half of the trip we're going to a sit down restaurant, half we're not. Whereas typically, and last year I was probably even less than that actually. Whereas typically a couple of years ago before COVID, I'd have the dining plan, I'd be in a sit down restaurant every day. Next
Wow.
year we do have the dining plan. I paid for it, but it means I don't have to worry about food when I'm out there. And
Yeah.
I said before in the podcast that my brain just likes to know actually the money that I have on my Monzo card is for things that I actually want
Yeah.
rather than which yes, I want food, of course, but for things I actually want to buy, like to take home with me rather than spend on
Yeah.
food and drink.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we were. I mean, I think Dan said this before, hasn't he? That he's quite a picky eater,
Mm.
and I would definitely say that we are as well. I think it's chicken goujons, it's pizza. I think Elliot had cheeseburger about 7 nights in a row for his dinner.
And then
So
didn't
yeah,
and then didn't pass anything for a week afterwards because that's what having burgers 7 nights in a row does to you.
bless him. Um, so yeah, to, and like I said, I touched upon our kind of strategy, which I know I've not mentioned, but I think our strategy was essentially try and do every single ride and every single park
Yeah.
and as many shows as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of adding in sit down meals or anything like that was that would have been another level that I just couldn't
It's a lot.
comprehend.
It's a
Yeah,
lot. And you had a spreadsheet. Lots of people have spreadsheets.
yeah,
I used to. I don't anymore. I mean, I won't next year, but my parents' 60th is coming up. 3 years' time is going to be a big trip. Like
oh nice.
me and my family, my sister and her family, and my parents. You're talking 10 people, I think.
Wow.
Trying to figure out a plan, and there are a couple of fussy eaters within that.
Yeah,
They are mainly the kids actually, but
yeah,
there is one that is a fussy eater, and you've got to try and figure out a meal every day. It's difficult to plan that in
yeah,
advance without
yeah,
having to look. You've got to look through all of the menus as well. Like, and I mean, there's so many restaurants in Walt Disney World that it's
yeah,
almost you almost get that like choice paralysis
yeah.
as well, which
Well,
doesn't help.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I won't even get onto Epcot. Like, there was no chance I was going to be able to do the festival. Like,
Didn't
there
fancy
was
the pickle milkshake.
no.
I'm looking forward to trying that.
I mean, I like pickle, but well, maybe I should have tried it. Yeah, maybe I should have actually. Um, but yeah, and Blaze Pizza. So we did that twice in Disney Springs as well. That was
Yeah,
really nice.
not been
Just
there
to,
actually, and this is the problem with the choice paralysis.
oh
So I've got my favorites. I'm only there 2 weeks of a year if I'm
yeah,
lucky.
yeah,
In between me going, even last year, they've opened about 10 new restaurants. Am I going to go there and risk not liking it when I know there's like
yeah,
6, 7 restaurants that I want to go to?
yeah,
And this is why it's really difficult.
yeah,
But I think next
exactly.
year is a bit more freedom to try stuff because we'll have the dining plan.
Yeah.
So your strategy was get to the parks, have your breakfast, get
Yes.
to the parks, eat some kind of quick service throughout the
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
and then would you typically come back to the hotel for like early evening,
Yes. Um,
unless there was a show?
unless there was a show. So we did what did we do? Epcot Forever for about 5 minutes because the kids hated that. Well, the noise, sorry. They hate the
Yeah,
noise.
but I mean, even that you have to. Epcot Forever is such an Epcot fan show. Like without the
Right.
context of having been to Epcot as a kid or having been to Epcot a few times, the show really doesn't make an awful lot of sense.
Interesting.
It's a good fireworks show, but all of the music and everything is from like classic Epcot attractions. So
Yeah, we didn't know
they've got a new
that.
show on the way in like a proper show that's going to be staying maybe for the
Yeah,
long term this time in December. So that's going to be interesting to see.
interesting.
So you skipped Epcot Forever. What about? I guess the one I really wanted to ask you about is Fantasmic.
Yes. Yeah, so that was again, I kind of feel they all like I don't know if it's all the parks, but like shows and things, they seem to turn the volume like up to 12 or 13.
Mm,
It's quite loud for us, and both of our kids, after Epcot Forever decided that they didn't want to, see anything that was too loud. Phantasmic was probably in that bracket as well. It was very loud,
yeah.
but just fantastic. Like,
Mm,
they've got obviously the water, the projections on the water. Then you've got things happening in the background. Then you've got the boats, like brilliant, like
it's so good, isn't it?
really, really, and the bit where um, I'm sure these aren't spoilers, but the bit where the flames go over the water, that's just
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it's a great show. And
Yeah,
I've not seen it since it reopened
uh,
again because they've added some new scenes. It wasn't open last year when we were there, so I'm
yeah.
looking forward to going back. It's my favorite show at Disney
Oh,
World. So
brilliant. And it's a bit of an experience as well. Like,
yeah,
you have to walk up past kind of Tower of Terror,
yeah,
and then you kind of come out into that, I don't know what, is it amphitheater, like, the big
yeah.
theater. And I was thinking, this is massive. And then you can go get popcorn,
Yeah,
beers, and it's
it's great, isn't it? It's just you said it's just that experience, and
yeah,
it is an
absolutely.
amazing show.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think the only other one, just briefly, was the one at Magic Kingdom. The name's just totally gone.
Happily Ever After.
Happily Ever After.
Yeah,
So we would have loved to have been near the castle, because we'd actually seen on in the room they have you can watch any of the fireworks and things, and we actually watched about 10 minutes of it, and it looked great. But it was our last night. We kind of wanted to watch it, but we also didn't want to have to wait 2 hours to get out. So we actually
yeah.
we watched it right at the back of Main Street, pretty much near the exit, just so we could get out of there
It's
quick.
not a bad place to watch it, to be fair. I mean, you
Yeah,
miss a bit of the castle projection, but
yeah,
you see the fireworks, and actually, as you said, especially when you've got two kids and there's
yeah,
buggies involved, you want to be making
yeah.
that dash to the bus.
Dash the bus. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and I mean, I think, like I say, I think we did Typhoon Lagoon 3 times. We did that in the morning. and then we'd always come back, get changed, and then go out to the park at the night,
Yeah.
and things like that. So yeah, like I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I mean,
Yeah.
doing Typhoon Lagoon three
Oh,
times in a trip is a lot, and you must have absolutely the kids must have loved it.
oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a little um there's like a little kind of dinghy ride, um
For,
little
the,
kind of
for like
for
little
the,
kids.
yeah, for smaller
Yeah, I know the
kids,
one you mean. Yeah, because Piper did that last
which,
year.
oh, I mean, Millie just went on that again and again and
Hmm.
again. And then Elliot, he's 7 now. He just went on everything else. Like, I
Yeah.
think we did everything. Crush and Gusher, I think it's called.
Hmm.
The water coaster, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Um,
And the wave pool is fantastic as well.
and the wave pool's just bonkers. That was really good as well. So he loved doing that. Um, and yeah, absolutely loved Typhoon Lagoon. That was really, really good. And yeah, I mean, Blizzard Beach obviously isn't open. I don't know if you've ever done that, but that
Yeah,
would be interesting to do.
I prefer Typhoon Lagoon over Blizzard Beach personally, um, but they all have added some frozen elements to Blizzard Beach. So, when you've got kids like I've got Piper who's 3, she would absolutely love that. So I think next
Yeah.
time Blizzard Beach is open, we'll probably, I think will be next May/June when we're out there. We
Okay.
probably will go there, so she can see that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was fantastic. But yeah, just and quickly just on Art of Animation, I think pools wise, again, great. We actually only did the big pool once, because we were happy just being in our Little Mermaid pool.
Yeah,
Good size. We were about a 30-second walk from it. So,
nice.
we would just come back from the park, dive into there, have a splash about, and then get ready. The big pool it's not, we're not talking like 10 minutes away, but it's a good, 5-6 minute walk.
Much busier as well, I bet.
And much busier. Crazy place. Yeah, we would come back at 10:30, 11 at night, and there'd still be about 50 people in that pool.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely
nuts, isn't it?
crazy. Yeah.
It really is when you're out there. I don't know. I always feel like I'm just in like a weird like time bubble
Yeah.
where you've got like 2-year-old kids just absolutely tearing it up at 11 o'clock at night. And then you'll get up at 6 the next morning to go to your park, and that same 2-year-old will be like wolfing down breakfast like they haven't just had like 3 hours sleep. Like
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
Exactly. And then yeah, obviously I can't not mention our favorite mode of transport, the Skyliner, which, if it's working, is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Um,
great, isn't it?
Fantastic. So, we actually had a room where we could look out the window. I don't know if I ever sent you a photo of this, but we'd look out the window and we could see it moving,
Oh, that's cool.
and would look out and go, yeah, it's on. Because,
Mhm.
obviously if there's storms or, whatever coming, they have to turn it off. So it was a good kind of indicator. I think it was only once that it wasn't working, where we had to get a bus somewhere. I can't remember where. But yeah, just, and especially for families who have a pushchair
You
or
just push it straight
stroller,
on.
push it straight on. If you
Yeah,
get on a bus, you've got to fold it
yeah,
down.
it's a pain.
You've got about 5,000 things on there that you've got to take off. So that was really, really great.
I'm looking
And
forward
it's,
to that next year.
yeah, it's just so slick. And that, yeah, just absolutely loved it. I mean, it's kind of a ride in itself as well.
Yeah,
The kids
it is.
absolutely loved it. And also great, going back to Epcot Forever. If you leave Epcot, at about 5 to 9,
Hmm.
you can probably see Epcot Forever fireworks going off
Yeah, yeah.
while you're in the Skyliner. And you can obviously see Spatial Earth as well, which just looks amazing.
Oh, it's stunning at night, especially,
Yeah.
but it really is. So,
Yeah.
what about the theme parks then? We already touched on Typhoon Lagoon, but like obviously you went to all 4 of the main kind of Disney parks. Like, what was everyone's like favorite? What did the kids enjoy most? What did you enjoy and Sarah enjoy the most? I mean, seeing
Yeah.
their faces as well. Like, I
Yeah.
I can't I just can't put my finger on it, but like just seeing your kids' faces light up in Disney is like nothing else.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I think they can't. I don't know. I kind of almost think they can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
Like there's so much. They're so massive. There's so much going on that they probably don't process it until they come back.
Mm,
If that makes any sense. Um, but yeah, we did. So I think we did every park 3 times.
nice.
Because obviously we were just doing Disney. We
Yeah.
didn't do Universal or anything like that. Um, my personal favorite was Hollywood Studios,
Hmm.
um, because of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which
Yeah.
just absolutely blew my mind. Um, how good that place is. And that's, even before you get on a ride,
Yeah.
like
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
fantastic.
I think, a lot of people take it for granted because, they go there all the time, especially, some people that live in the States or live in
Yeah,
Florida even. But I'll never forget it was almost like I was like a kid again when I
yeah,
walked through that tunnel. I went through the tunnel into Galaxy's Edge, and
yeah,
you're literally like, oh my God, this is Star Wars. I'm in Star Wars.
yeah. Just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the detail in everything, the walls, the floor, um, the shops, everything in the shops. I mean, you probably could have spent about 15 minutes in every shop just looking around.
Yeah.
Um,
15 minutes and maxed out your credit cards as well.
yeah, exactly. I know. Um, and then there's the food. I got a Rondo wrap,
How was
which
it? I've
was
not tried. I've not managed to try one.
ah
I've heard
no
very
way.
good things.
Yeah, really good. Um, yeah, enjoyed it. That was kind of one of the things that I was wanting to try. Was
Mm.
That was probably the top one that I was wanting to try, and it was really good. Um, so yeah, and obviously, Rise of the Resistance. As you were saying, I was just like a kid again going
Yeah,
through that ride.
it's
And
great. Yeah,
and Elliot absolutely loved Smuggler's Run, so he was just constant. When can we go on Smuggler's Run again?
amazing.
Um, so yeah, just I think because of that, I do like Toy Story Land. Love, um, all that land. Slinky Dog is fantastic.
Yeah,
And I'll get on to Genie Plus because we used that twice in Hollywood Studios. Um, but yeah, for me, I think, and I know you and Dan, I think I've mentioned this before. I think Animal Kingdom is the prettiest. I think
yeah.
we barely even properly looked at the Tree of Life. Um,
Oh, it's just insane, isn't it?
yeah, ridiculous. We kind of went round the back, um, and to see all the animals, you know, fantastic.
That park is so amazing because the longer it stands, that park, the more beautiful it gets because what they did when they built that park is they planted a lot of those trees when they were quite young. So
um,
so as time obviously goes on, those trees are getting bigger and the park is
Amazing.
becoming almost more wild as it gets older, which is just
Yeah,
amazing. I think the vision that went into that theme park is
yeah,
unbelievable. But I
yeah,
do think it's in need of a few more rides.
yeah. I totally agree with that. I think we rope dropped Animal Kingdom a couple of times. I think
Hmm.
um, the first time um, we rode Everest about 5 times in a row because it was like a 5 minute
Amazing.
wait time. And the second time we rope dropped and went to Flight of Passage, which was still about an hour's wait, believe it or not.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, Magic Kingdom, obviously fantastic. That's probably the one that I remember from my childhood. I think
Yeah.
that's the one I remember. Jungle Cruise and Pirates of the Caribbean, all those
Magic
kind of
Kingdom
rides.
is Magic Kingdom. There is
Yeah,
nothing else on earth like it.
yeah,
It's pure Disney, isn't it?
Yeah, completely. And Big Thunder, it's kind of like
Mm,
you're going back to those rides that you remember from your childhood.
yeah.
Um, I think Seven Dwarfs is fantastic, by the way. I think that's a really good ride. I think interestingly, and I'm sure I can't remember if I've heard you guys mention this, but all of the newer rides seem to be a lot smoother.
Mm,
The roller coasters seem to be
yeah.
very, very smooth. You kind of go on Big Thunder and it's a bit,
Yeah.
and even Everest to a certain degree. Seven Dwarfs is so smooth, so it kind of gives that different experience. I feel, but it's a fantastic.
Next time you go on it, rock back and forth as much as you possibly can. So they're on like
Ah,
I don't think hinges is the right word, but you can literally, if you're both working together with the person you're sat next to, it's so much more fun because
I
you're
didn't
literally
know
doing
that.
like going back and forth, and it's crazy going around the corners. We didn't realize that my sister and I were on it a few years ago, and we kind of accidentally moved the same way, and we were like, hold on a second.
Hang
And
on.
then for the rest of the ride, we're just absolutely flying, and they go quite far.
Oh yeah, I bet. Um, and we were really gutted because we didn't. We really wanted to do that on. And again, I'll get on to Mickey's Not So Scary, but we really wanted to do that at night.
Yeah,
But it was the wait time was just too much. Um,
it's tricky because you don't want to. The party is expensive, and you don't want to
yeah,
be wasting a lot of time. It's not wasting it, but it's a long time to be sat and doing one thing
yeah,
when there's so much more to do.
that's it. That's it exactly. So, um, and I know I haven't mentioned Epcot, but I do apologize, Ryan. But yeah, I love. Well, Test Track was fab. Remy, I absolutely loved.
Hmm.
Um, Frozen, maybe I'm not, the proper person for Frozen.
Yeah,
And and yeah, obviously Spaceship Earth love. But yeah, for me, when we've kind of got this strategy of, you know, rides and shows, I think Epcot probably just, didn't do it for us. I'm
well,
sorry.
I mean, it's going through a massive
Yeah,
transformation. I mean, you would have seen construction walls everywhere,
yeah, yeah.
which doesn't help. Did you go on Guardians though?
Oh no,
You didn't have a chance. Oh, that would have changed your entire view of Epcot.
I know. Uh, I'm so good. Um, but yeah, we just didn't. We probably should have tried to do that earlier on,
Mm,
um, because I think we actually went on the second or third day we were there.
yeah,
But I kind of just thought, oh, I'll do that later. But
yeah.
actually, in hindsight, it just got too late and too late and too late, and I missed out. So really disappointing that. That was literally one of the only rides that we didn't do. So I was really disappointed in that.
There's always a next time though.
Oh yes, there
There's
will
always a
be.
next time.
There will be.
I think the one thing with Epcot with young kids is there's a mixed bag. I think now, like there's some great rides there for young kids, but
Yeah.
there's a lot that's kind of educational, not that interesting for kids. There's a lot of nostalgia in Epcot for me as well, and also I think that a lot of the things that appeal to adults, like the drinking around the world, eating lots of
Yeah.
different foods from different cultures, is very difficult to do when you have two young children.
Yeah.
Because they're not
It's
going to sit there and watch you drink beer after beer. They want to be going off and doing something else.
yeah.
Um, did you manage to go to Baseline Tap House at Hollywood Studios?
We didn't.
Another one to add to your list for next time.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's added. It is added. Um, no, we didn't. We didn't. Um, but yeah, and like I say, I think um, Hollywood was my favorite. And yeah, I mean, basically, Elliot, my son, wanted to do every single ride he could do. You know,
Mm,
he was of the mind. I just want to tick off every single ride. My daughter, who's 4, just about to turn 5, she just wanted to meet every single character.
which
So,
takes up a lot of your day.
oh, like ridiculous amounts.
Yeah,
Just the same as if you're going to do rides, it's pretty much the same or longer
yeah,
to
yeah.
meet the characters. Um,
How
but
were those experiences for you? Like meeting the characters?
oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
I mean, she was in her element. Um, I think she met pretty much every character. She did all the princesses. She did Winnie the Pooh about 5 times. Um, she probably would have done Figment.
Who just made his debut
Yeah,
yesterday. Yeah.
exactly. She probably would have done that because she did Sully, who was massive,
Yeah.
and tall. She would have done, Figment, no bother. But
I think
um,
Figment might be the one to convince Piper that fur characters are okay because I showed her the video as it and she loved the Figment ride last year. She like
yeah,
loves it, still talks about it. And I
that's
showed her
good.
the video and she's very much looking forward to it. But he
Yeah.
did today actually as we recording this today. He tripped over on the way out of the tunnel
Oh
and I
no.
showed Piper and she was laughing and she was like, "Has he died?" Because he's like on the floor, just like struggling. A few cast members had to try and pick him up.
Oh bless. Um, but yeah, like
Honor Elsa, did you meet them?
we didn't.
Oh, another one for the list.
I don't know why.
The queue for Honor Elsa is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
it
think
must
when
have
we
been
did it
that.
last year, we went, as much as I would have loved to have rope dropped Test Track,
Yeah.
we went and rope dropped meeting Anna and Elsa.
Well,
It was still,
yeah,
as you said, still like 40 minutes.
yeah, incredible. Yeah, literally don't know why we didn't. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I say, I think I was just going to mention Genie Plus. We used Genie Plus on 2 days, both in Hollywood studios,
Hmm.
because we loved Slinky Dog, we loved Mickey Mini Railway, was really good, Tower of Terror, Smuggler's Run, Toy Story Mania. So there was
Yeah.
quite a few um, to get there, and actually, I noted down some of the times. So for anyone thinking of doing Genie Plus, we kind of did it a bit later on. We almost did it in the second week when we had a bit more of an understanding
Yeah.
of wait times. What do we want to do? Um, and some examples of times. Mickey Mini Railway. I think when we used it was a 60-minute standby, but we actually got in about 20 minutes. Um, Tower of Terror was a 105-minute standby, but we got in about 20 minutes. Um, and I think Toy Story Mania generally was about 65 minutes. We got in about 10.
Nice.
So, and we actually only bought 2 Genie Plus, so we didn't buy all 4 because Millie just wouldn't go on these rides
Right.
at her age. So we'd buy 2, and then actually just me and my wife would just swap over and
Yeah.
go on with Elliot. So Elliot did everything, and we would just swap. So if you've got kids of a similar age, one's into rides, one's not. You can kind of do that.
That works out pretty well because I didn't
Yeah,
realize because you when you were messaging me and I was like, oh, I'm not even sure you can do that, but like you did it and worked
yeah.
out
Just
great.
just take. You just got to make sure you've got um, you know, the the card,
Yeah,
the park ticket. Um,
because
and
we've got DAS this year,
yes,
so we're able to kind of it's basically like Genie Plus every day anyway, kind of,
yeah, that's
um,
that's really helpful.
which is really helpful, especially
Really
when you've got
helpful.
the little kids.
Yeah,
So it is handy to have that, but I think if we didn't have that, I probably would be getting Genie Plus
yeah,
for a few days.
yeah. I think one thing to note is, and I remember, I think it was the first time I bought it in the morning. Obviously, you've got to buy it. I was up at 6:30
Yeah, of course.
buying
Yeah,
buying Genie Plus, in bed, and then I think I was on there, 7ish or whenever you can first
yeah,
book. Try to get Slinky Dog, and I think even that was, I think 12 was the earliest time we got, and that was doing it at 7 in the morning.
yeah, yeah.
So the only problem with that is that has a knock-on effect to the next one, because obviously you can't
Yes.
book another one until you've you've tapped
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
So just one thing to keep in mind is, we obviously had 8 till 11 or 12 where we couldn't actually book anything else
Mm-hmm.
because we were holding that Slinky Dog Lightning Lane. Um, so yeah, just depends. Obviously, if you stay in the park all day, you could probably do, all the rides essentially, 5 or 6 rides. So just one thing to kind of keep in mind.
And I mean, I know you had to have difficulty at one point, but you did manage to get on Tron.
Yes,
And did
we
you
did.
enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved the start.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing is I only did it once, and I think I really enjoyed the start. I think when you get in, and I don't know if you agree, but when you get into the inner part where you kind of race, and I almost felt like I couldn't take everything in because it's so fast and
Right.
things are kind of happening, right and left. I think if I
Yeah.
did it again, I'd be able to kind of take it in more.
Yeah. I mean, I
Um,
haven't done it yet.
oh, you've not done it? Oh,
Is it
forget it.
open? No, it didn't. It wasn't open when I was there last year. So
Oh, yeah, but
on my
the whole
list.
the whole experience. Do you know what it is? Even for me, even the virtual queue is like an experience. I know,
Mm.
probably not. People might not agree with that, but this was our first time going, first time doing it. It's you've got in this virtual queue. It's almost like this kind of VIP
Yeah.
type ticket. You go up there, and the queue's okay. You get nearer the ride itself, and it gets more interesting.
Mm.
But yeah, I loved it. I think I messaged you, didn't I? I was gutted I didn't do it at night because I think
Yeah.
that would
I mean,
be
everyone. I mean, I really want to do it
oh,
at night, but it's hard, especially with like when we're going in October. Basically, every other night is a Mickey's Not So Scary party. So the chances of me doing it at night this year are quite
oh,
slim.
I
But
didn't think of that.
I think probably next year, next summer, I'll try and do it at night.
Yeah, that would be totally different to a daytime, I think. But yeah, it was great. I mean, Elliot was really scared in the queue, and I
Mm.
think the reason was they've got like a kind of test motorbike,
Oh yeah,
Tron motorbike to sit in when you're on the outside.
yeah.
But the problem was he thought he couldn't reach the like the handlebars, so he thought he was going to fall out.
Right. Okay.
And I
Yeah.
said, "You're not going to fall out." And
Yeah.
obviously, when you get in, you kind of pull it down, and it restrains you. But he loved it, absolutely loved it.
Amazing.
Yeah, he
So
didn't love Rock and Roller Coaster though,
that is quite intense for a
because
7-year-old.
that is
That
ridiculous.
it feels old as well now. Like
Yeah,
it's one, as you say, it's one of those older roller coasters that isn't that smooth.
yeah. I mean, it was an experience, but
It's great,
uh,
but yeah.
he didn't. He was not happy with me making him go on that.
Amazing. So some of the you talked a lot about the attractions you loved, especially the Galaxy's Edge and
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance, Smuggler's Run you enjoyed. What about attractions that you didn't like so much?
Oh,
Are there any?
I hate doing this, but there is.
Yeah.
There's one that sticks out, and I hate to say it, but Navi River.
Yeah.
So in Animal Kingdom. So I guess Flight of Passage, unbelievable,
Mind-blowingly good.
really good. Like even the queues, like okay.
Mm.
There's a bit of interest. You're outside, you're inside. Um, that has to be one of the worst queues. I know we shouldn't talk about the queues, but we waited 75 minutes
The River Journey.
for River Journey.
That's a long time to wait for that ride.
I
Yeah.
know. And, our maid, because I thought this was going to be unbelievable. So our maid, Sarah and the kids wait 75 minutes in probably one of the worst queues.
Yeah.
Hot, we're talking like 35
It is hot.
degrees. Um, and it was probably over in about 40 seconds. But
If you
it was
like
all right.
Avatar, it's great.
If you like Avatar, like
I've yet to met someone that really likes Avatar.
yeah, exactly.
Despite it making so much money at the cinema, no one seems to really rate it as a franchise.
Yeah,
But I think the animatronic at the end
yeah,
is insane.
unbelievable, unbelievable.
But yeah, and I do like that ride actually, but the animatronic makes it definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe if it was a 30-minute wait,
Yeah,
I'd be saying
30 minutes is a good time to wait for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't touch upon that, but if you're in the standby and you don't have Genie Plus, there are certain rides that probably annoy you more
Yeah.
because you can see,
Mm-hmm.
there was probably about 1,000 people in the lightning lane went past
Yeah.
while we were waiting. So, but on the flip side, we went on Slinky Dog, and I swear down we got on that ride within about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel bad. You kind of look into your left,
It's like
the
Wayne's
people.
World. Your passes, you're just like, "Wee." You can see the people like cursing you.
Oh, 100%. But that was fantastic. That for me is the beauty of Genie Plus.
Mm.
But obviously tactically, use it tactically. You can't do it if you can't do it every day, which we certainly couldn't.
So expensive. Yeah, if you would do it every day. Yeah.
Just try it tactically. I think it was about 20. Well, with taxes, it's probably about $25 each. So, yeah, I hate to pick out a worst one.
What you need to
But
do next time is maybe do four pints of the green beer before you get on. Then you're really tripping out.
I know. Hey, that green beer was really nice. I
It's
really
great, isn't
enjoyed
it?
that.
Yeah.
Love that. It was brilliant. Good recommendation, that. But yeah, and obviously, the whole Avatar, the floating things and
The land itself
brilliant.
is yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, fantastic. And yeah, only did Flight of Passage once. I would have done that, multiple times for sure.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. So yeah,
that was probably your biggest disappointment in terms of attractions then.
Yeah, I think so. All the shows were good. Lion King was great. Finding Nemo I didn't mind. It's kind of a bit of a trippy one to get used to with the people.
It's become a bit of a mess, so they changed it and made it a lot shorter. And I don't think the story is as good anymore.
Yeah,
it feels very rushed now. So it used to be like 45 minutes long.
That's
and now it's like 20 minutes, I think. And
got you.
And you can really see like it's very rushed. I don't think it's very good anymore.
Okay,
which is a shame. What about Indiana Jones? Did you get a chance to do that?
Yes, we did. Yeah, that was fantastic. Again, that's one of the ones from my childhood that I really remembered.
Yeah, because it's an old show, isn't it? It's been there since like the late 80s.
Oh, yeah.
But it's great.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking, 30 years ago. I was probably there a little bit less. But yeah, that was one, and I think we actually did it. And then I think the next day, my son was like, "Are we doing Indiana Jones again?" And we kind of went, because we were there on the night, and we were like, "It's
done.
There's no showings, unfortunately."
Yeah.
So, that was great. And yeah, I mean, we did tons. We did, Fill Our Magic.
That's a good show.
Yeah, Muppets 3D, which again, Millie, my daughter, hated because there was things coming out at her.
Yeah, Piper's at that age as well, where she's not really keen on it. She loves the Muppets though, which is a bit of a shame.
Beauty and the Beast and Frozen, I didn't actually do. Sarah did those. And yeah, Lightning McQueen was great as well.
I'm gonna have to edit that out. I hate Cars.
It was all right.
You're already backpedaling on it.
No, but I mean, that's probably one of I think there were certain things where you're like, yeah, I've done that. I don't need to do that again.
Yeah.
Things like that. Finding Nemo.
You get that, don't you?
Country Bear Jamboree. Probably like,
Although they're changing it, so the next time you go, it'll be different.
True. Yeah.
I guess before we get on to like whether you'd go back, there's one thing we probably haven't touched on, which is the Mickey's Not So Scary Party. because I know we talked a lot about that before you went because it is such an expensive additional ticket, and I said, you know, if you haven't done it before, it's definitely worth doing.
Yeah.
We're not doing it this year. I really wanted to, but and I might still do it if there's a date.
Ooh,
If there's a date available, like the week before we go, I might book it still. But it
yeah,
is so expensive, and Phoenix is only 4 months old.
true.
Piper loved it last year, but we're doing quite a lot, fitting a lot into like 12 nights this time instead
Yeah,
of like even like 2 nights less is still. I
yeah,
mean, it's harder. So, but what did you think about the event?
yeah, fantastic. I'd 100% do it again. And I think it would be even better nearer Halloween. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm kind of just assuming. I think I'd seen something where they were getting
less
different
less
characters were
warm.
getting different outfits, less warm. That would help. Um, but yeah, we really enjoyed it. We actually, um, again, you can tell we're kind of first timers, but we got there and we didn't actually know that the rides stayed open until midnight. You know,
Right? Yeah, yeah,
we just didn't have a clue, so we were like, super, like we can go on, rides for another 3 hours, which was fantastic. So we did. We tried to do as many rides as we could in the night, and I mentioned Seven Dwarfs before, which we didn't get on, but um, and I think the only special one that we did was I think Sarah and Elliot did Space Mountain in the Dark,
yes, yeah, yeah,
which apparently was absolutely horrendous.
yeah. I mean, I love Space Mountain, and I love it in the dark because it's even more terrifying.
No, I don't think I could have done that. Um, and yeah, the parade was fantastic.
It's so good, isn't it?
That was honestly that was brilliant. Um, the fireworks we didn't actually watch. We went on the rides instead. Um, and I think there's like a Hocus Pocus
Yeah,
show. Um, again, it was just for
quite
us
niche as well. Like
yeah,
Hocus Pocus is quite. I mean, it's got like other Disney characters in it, but it's still quite a niche thing. I don't necessarily think you're missing loads by not seeing that. You know, and
yeah,
the whole fun of it is trick or treating in Magic Kingdom. It's just
yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it's so much fun.
yeah, completely. That was like next level. My son obviously loved that. He was getting double scoops and triple scoops.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, we filled up our bags. We were putting, emptying the little bags into a big bag and then getting more. We got absolutely tons. Um, but yeah, fantastic, and yeah, it was great to even just seeing everyone dressed up. Like
Yeah,
that was quite interesting. Um, you were kind of like, oh, there's, someone was fully dressed up as oh, sorry, I've just Jack Skellington, like
amazing. Yeah,
literally full suit, full head. You had to take a double take. I mean, God knows how hot they would have been.
yeah,
But like there was absolutely no chance I would have been dressing up. But yeah, it was really good to watch. And again, as I said before, um, I think all of the parks look completely different at night.
yeah.
So that helps as well. When something's dark and all the buildings and rides are lit up, just kind of takes on a whole new level. So that was really good. But yeah, 100% we'd love to do that again. Really, really
Amazing,
good. Um,
amazing.
and I think if obviously we wouldn't have, if we hadn't done it, we wouldn't have known. But I think, yeah, definitely didn't regret doing that.
That's good.
Yeah,
I'm definitely leaning towards booking it if there's a night available. But it is just because like Donna and I are doing Halloween Horror Nights,
of course. Yeah,
um, taking the kids out until midnight when we've got so much
yeah,
to pack into 12 nights.
yeah,
At that age, sometimes it can have it like because last year we did it on our last night,
yes.
which worked out so
Oh,
well
bro.
because the next day they were shattered, Piper was shattered, slept on the plane. Whereas doing it in the middle of the holiday, I think it could impact the next 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's kind of the main reason,
Yeah.
really. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like you had an amazing time. I guess what are your thoughts on returning? Because it's a big trip. Um, are you going to go back?
100%. We
You've got the bug.
I've got the
I mean,
book.
I knew the answer to that because
Yeah, you
I think
did.
you were 2 days into your trip and you sent me a message going, "This is amazing. We're coming back."
Yeah, completely. Yeah, it's kind of hard to put your finger on. I think it's almost, I was thinking about this earlier. There's so much, you know, we kind of mentioned it before where, you can't do everything. I
Mm,
mean, we were there for 2 weeks, 3 days in each park, and all okay, we did most of the rides once, but there was some in there that we wanted to do twice or three times.
yeah,
Food, we didn't do. I mean, we barely scratched the surface of food. Um, we kind of know, even the Disney pins, we
yeah.
actually only Elliot decided on like the second last day that he wanted to start collecting the pins.
Mhm.
We'd obviously go back and buy some to trade or
Yeah, and you can trade
um,
them everywhere in the
yeah,
hotels. I mean,
that's it.
parks everywhere. Yeah.
So so I think I almost kind of think it's that. Obviously, there's so much to do. There'll be new things hopefully when we go back, and um, we have
Well,
got plans for the next time. Um,
I mean, Moana's about to open,
yeah,
so already you've got that
there's one. Yeah,
that's opening.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's that, if you go and, you do every ride and you've had all the food, there's kind of no point to go back. But I think the fact that we saw so much that we wanted to do that we didn't, we're kind of like,
Mm,
okay, it's going to be an expense, but actually we're going to have a really good time again.
yeah.
And obviously, our plan, I think, at the moment is to probably go in 2025,
Hmm.
which I know we've discussed, for Epic Universe and
Yeah.
Mario. So
Yeah.
that is at the moment the plan.
I mean, you
Um,
have played perfectly into what I talk so much about on the podcast, in that I don't think people understand how much of a win Universal has on that on the radar with Epic Universe, because what young family
yeah,
doesn't want to go to a theme park where Mario, Luigi have rides and you can go on Mario Kart and you can see Yoshi and see Donkey Kong? Like,
yeah,
who doesn't want to do that? And I think
that's it.
people are underestimating the impact that's going to have on
Yeah.
Disney.
Well, that's it. So obviously, our kids will be, what will they be? 6 and 9, I think.
Mm,
So Mario's still going to be relevant. Um, I was just looking at the rumored lands as well. So Harry Potter will be great if that does happen. I don't know if this is an old
that's definitely happening.
perfect.
Yeah,
The Dark Universe, if that happens,
definitely happening.
fair dues. How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know if that's happening or not.
That's
Bit of
definitely
a
happening.
it's a bit of a random one, I
It,
feel.
it, it is, yeah. And it feels almost like it's too late,
Yeah.
but they are rumored to be making a live action version of that.
Mm.
So I
Oh,
think
that,
they may well keep it relevant because through that for a few years.
yeah.
But that's definitely, I've seen the like the helicopter. There's someone that flies over and takes photos. The dragon set pieces are already in there for that.
Oh, wow.
That land is definitely confirmed for
So
sure.
so this isn't like Disney construction
No, this is
where
actually happening. Yeah.
but yeah, so trying to kind of think, well, would we want to do another 2 weeks of just Disney?
Hmm.
I think if that's open, like you're gonna do half and half or 60-40 probably.
Yeah.
Um
Yes.
so
Well,
yeah,
you've
100.
got four parks then with Universal. You've got obviously Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios,
Yes.
Universe, and potentially Volcano Bay if you wanted to do that as well.
Oh God.
I know,
So there's a lot. Yeah.
and that's
Which is
without all the other theme parks in and around the Orlando, Florida area, like
yeah,
Busch Gardens, Legoland, Peppa Pig, probably a bit too young for when you go
yeah,
next.
yeah,
SeaWorld,
yeah,
it's insane the amount of stuff
yeah,
there is to do out there.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that's it. I think um I mean, yeah, Disney's definitely gonna happen. I think we've all bought into it. We, Elliot was, my son was, really upset like a couple of nights after. That may have been all the cheeseburgers potentially, but
Yeah.
but
Was
probably
he
more,
calling you from the toilet?
but more, more. He was like, "Can we go back?" And
Mhm.
you can't hear me, but he had a bit of a tear in his eye because he was wanting to go back, and I think that's
That's how
you know,
I feel when I get back.
yeah, I was, I'm going to be honest, I was really down, but yeah, so that, I mean, that's the plan. I mean, yeah, I'll obviously be, you know, hassling you in a year's time about, um, where we should go and what we should do and things like that. But I think, you know, well, again, I've been messaging you about, Disney cruises,
Yeah.
Disneyland Paris, but I think we're just gonna, because again, I was saying to my wife today, I think we just need to have a year off to
Mm.
then build back up.
Yeah.
So you get, if I think if we went every year, you might kind of risk overdoing it. But I think if we have a year off, we'll be straight back into that kind of that excitement.
Yeah,
Um,
and I said to you as well, like with Paris at the minute, it's almost Paris is so expensive
yeah,
that for not too much more, yes, it's more expensive,
yeah,
but not too much more, you can actually go to Florida for 2 weeks
yeah.
versus like 4 or 5 days in Disneyland Paris, which isn't, I think Paris has got so expensive.
Wow.
We're certainly giving Paris a break until Frozen opens, which annoyingly I think is going to be 2025, which means 2025 has become a very expensive year for me. But I think our plans are at the minute potentially me going to do Epic Universe solo,
Nice.
then maybe Disneyland Paris as a family for Frozen,
Yeah,
and potentially going over to Disneyland California,
amazing. Oh, fantastic. Nice.
potentially.
Yeah,
But we shall see. Because we've
bro.
got a big, my parents' 60th is the year after. So
Yeah,
our big Florida trip will be
yeah.
that year,
At that time.
hopefully for like 3 weeks if we can.
Yeah, but yeah, and again, I think you get all kind of philosophical when you have a bit of time off and you come back. Even because obviously the kids are only kids for so long.
Yeah.
I was kind of doing it sounds really sad, but you kind of do calculations. Well, if we went every other year, realistically, you've only got another kind of 4 or 5 trips, which I know is, it's a lot, but at the moment we're still in this kind of, Disney frenzy where,
Yeah.
we just want to book and go again. And, if Epic Universe is 2025, you'll know better than me, but what are Disney going to counteract that with?
They've got some cool
Something.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they're not going to be open by 2025, but you'll have
No.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure as well
Yeah.
that will be open by then. Moana's about to open.
Yeah.
They'll have some things up their sleeves to
Yeah.
counter that. At the very least, I think they'll definitely want to put on a very, very good deal to try and
Yeah.
bring people away from Universal that year. So I would expect to see the
Yes.
free dining plan return in 2025. That's
Interesting.
my thought process. I think next year they're going to be trialing it back in again, where
Yeah.
it's paid for, making sure everyone can use it, making sure cast members know how to use it again.
Mhm.
And for me, that's almost them kind of that year getting back into the swing of it for them to go, right, 2025, we're going to need to bring the Europeans back
Yeah.
to Disney instead of Universal. We're going to have to throw some free dining into the mix.
Yeah.
That's my view. They're going to have to do something, and there's no way they're going to be able to build anything they announced yesterday as we're recording in time for Epic Universe opening. It's just not going to happen because it took them
Wow.
6 years to build Tron.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, that I guess again, as someone who's a first timer, we're kind of new to this. We're quite fickle. We can still just, say, well, we're not going to Disney for as long, and how much are they going to lose out on merchandise, food,
Yeah.
all that stuff that we would, Disney Genie Plus, whatever it is, in 2 years' time.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they've got to do something. Again, we'll go and we'll have a list of things that we haven't done, but 2 years after that, you know,
Yeah, but this is it. You may spend 8, 9 days at Disney instead of 14 next time
yeah,
because Epic Universe has brought you to Universal for 4 days.
yeah,
And
exactly.
that's kind of like what, it's really interesting actually having someone on the show that is thinking that way, because that's what I've been trying to get to the point across to people on Twitter saying, oh, Disney's got nothing to worry about. Well, I think they do, because if every family that's gone to Disney once or twice is now thinking in this way,
Yeah,
they've suddenly taken a huge financial hit.
I think as our kids grow up, they're not going to spend a full day wanting to see characters. Winnie the
Yeah,
Pooh, that they'll be wanting to do Mario or
doing the massive roller
oh,
coasters at Universal.
that's it.
Yeah,
So um, but yeah, I think, like I say, we've chatted about this, but I think Mario is probably more for me. Actually, is a big pull for that. So yeah, like I
yeah. I
say, I
mean,
think
I'm preparing to drop at like $1,000 on Nintendo merchandise alone, I think.
just a separate credit card just for
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, absolutely, yeah. I think actually one thing I was going to mention as well, just as a bit of a tip, um, was to get magic bands, because I feel
Mm,
um, again we kind of it's not the end of the world having a kind of physical card as your ticket, but we had to kind of put that somewhere, and then you go on a ride, you leave stuff on your buggy, and you know you're wondering where they are in the morning. So that was one of the things that we wished we'd done right at the start. And actually, I know you guys have discussed the Magic Band Plus as well.
yeah,
I think the only cool thing I saw was during the fireworks and
yeah,
Phantasmic, where they lit up.
yeah. Which is
That was
cool,
probably
but when you've got it on, you're not looking at it. You're looking at the fireworks. And I bought one last year. I bought the plain black one,
yeah,
the Magic Band Plus, and it wasn't worth it. I mean, I'm
yeah,
going to be taking it again this year. I bought it, like,
yeah,
I've kept the charger and everything like that,
yeah,
but I was disappointed that there wasn't more to do with it.
yeah.
And often I found it annoying because it's just vibrating. And I'm like, oh, why is it vibrating? And it's glowing red when I'm on the Haunted Mansion, like a heartbeat. And I'm like, oh, great, you know.
Yeah, but that was sorry. I meant to mention that earlier on, but I think that was one of the other things. I think it was kind of the magic bands are probably a good shout.
Mm.
For just general kind of use.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll be getting Piper one on the first day, because last
yeah,
year she didn't need a ticket because she was 3.
of course. Yeah,
Well, no, she was 2. This year she does need a ticket because she's
yeah,
3. So we'll be getting her a magic band, so
yeah,
she'll love just tapping in and doing all that
yeah,
as well.
yeah. Um, but yeah, that was kind of us. I think just incredible. Even though we had, a couple of issues getting back from the hotel to the airport, a hurricane coming, things like that. We kind of got lucky.
Mm.
But yeah, just had a fantastic time. And like I say, I think the main reason we're thinking of going back is because, as you were saying, we've still got this list of things that we haven't done.
Yeah,
But it'll probably be, you know, whatever split between Disney and Universal now, which is
yeah,
interesting. And I think that'll be good as well, because, the
definitely.
kids will probably remember, you know, the Disney theme parks. This will be totally new, even
Yeah,
if it's for 2 or 3 or 4 days.
yeah,
Um,
definitely. And it's good doing new things. I mean, it's crazy. You've got a really good excuse to go back. I find myself with certainly not as good of an excuse to go back every year, but there's always something new that I'm like, oh, I just,
yeah,
I really want to do that. The pickle milkshake. I'm like, I really want to try that. That's totally not a justified reason to go back. But
no,
I
that's
mean,
it.
to be fair, I had the trip booked before that. And it's mainly like, as you were saying, while the kids, obviously Phoenix has no idea what's going on really at the minute. But while Piper is like so into Disney, she loves Figment. She loves talking about Epcot and Magic
Yeah.
Kingdom, why would I not take them back?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, we're discussing going to see, Santa this Christmas
Hmm.
because it's like prime time.
Yeah.
They believe
Hmm.
they, they think it's all real.
Yes,
So
you've got to do
it's
it.
it's kind of that, and going back to what I was saying before, we've only got 4 or 5 times before, they won't want to come on, a holiday with their mum and dad. And
Unless you're someone like me,
true.
who is going to Disney with his mum and dad
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Apart from you, right? But yeah, just like I say, fantastic experience. Um, and yeah, just as I say, you start kind of going, oh, I wish I'd bought that, or I wish we'd done that. I wish we'd waited an extra 20 minutes to do that. It's easy to think about it now, but it might like change when we go the next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you're there and you do get to that point in the holiday where you're like, oh my God, it's so hot, we're so tired,
Yeah.
I can't be bothered to wait 20 minutes. And
Yeah.
it's easy to look back and go, I wish we'd done that. But actually at the time,
Yeah.
give the
True.
kids a bit of a rest, to give yourself a bit of a rest, it probably is the right thing to do. I found that the hardest last year because I'm always like, I want to be at the parks at 8 and I want to leave at midnight.
Yeah.
And I found it hard not to be that person last year
Yeah.
when, Piper's like standing up, falling asleep. And it'll be harder
That's it.
this year with, Phoenix on bottles and things like that. But no, that was really useful. We've actually not had someone on the show sharing their first time experiences with a family, I don't think, ever. So
Awesome.
that was really interesting, and actually how we were thinking about doing the trip next time is really interesting as well. If only because you're proving my theory to be correct.
Ooh.
So yeah, thanks.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me. It's been great.
Ah, there you are. And just in time. There's a little matter I forgot to mention. Beware of hitchhiking ghosts. They have selected you to fill our quota, and they'll haunt you until you return.